it's something to say that something can be done about a planet like this, but you see it's getting worse and worse. Uh, they say that darkest hour before dawn. It must be near dawn for this planet because it's bad everywhere you go. Um, it's bad for people, but it's also bad for leaders. And if something isn't done, leaders are going to strike on people. I've been saying that for the last 2 years because leaders are getting deposed, assassinated, and all that. After a while, leaders will get together and have a government of the leaders for the leaders by the leaders. That's the next thing might happen to this planet. Uh, a government of the governments for the governments by the governments. They tried the people, but leaders have to be given some consideration. It's very difficult to even think about governing a man. They all got their own ideas about what should be. It makes it very difficult for somebody in human form to try to lead people. And the people don't realize that if they just take a good look at themselves, they're not such a good bargain for being models of righteousness either. But if they had some kind of consideration for the leaders and show some consideration for each other, maybe leaders would be taught how to treat people. But then unfortunately, people mistreat each other. They don't give leaders an example of how they should be treated. They shoot each other. They cut each other. They they hate each other. They curse at each other. That's a bad example for people to set for leaders who see that and might get a very bad impression about people, not even want to lead them or do anything for them because they're so bad. Well, then when it comes down to people really facing the truth, that would be the day. It's possible that music in a pure form can help people to see themselves as they are, and then it can help them to see themselves as they should be. When they can see themselves as they should be and see themselves as they are, something can happen, a work for humanity. Uh, at this time, they so busy looking at other people's faults they can't see their own. This music is like a mirror. You you keep on listening to it, and you can see something. You can see your alter self. You can see beyond tomorrow. You can discard the future. I'm talking about things like that because who needs a future that's bad? So I would say that if the future is bad for people, they should discard it and get them an alter future, which is what I'm talking about on the mathematical plan. Everything is done by mathematics. So if you can develop an atomic bomb, I'm sure you can develop an altered destiny. But the background, as far as me playing music, I'm just well, I'm just like the bees. You see, they learn how to make honey, and if you ask them where they learn how to make honey, well, they really couldn't tell you. They just want to make some honey. I get the bees make their honey. I make music. Uh, that's the way it is. I'm like I told one of the musicians in my band. He lately gotten in there, and I told him I'm just a natural. I played about 4 hours on one song and showed him all kind of patterns on one song. He was sitting looking. I said, I'm a natural. Naturals can do that. They just do things that other people can't do because they're sent to a planet where the people can learn, and that the people, if they can respect natural talent, they get out all that difficulties because nature always sends answers to people, like herbs to heal them when they're sick. And nature has a way to help people now in all these difficulties. But the answers will come from, you might say, nature's children or nature's naturals. They would know how to tell people what to do about this situation because nature does want people to live. The first law of nature is self-preservation, so most certainly it wants people to live. So therefore, it would have a way to protect them. Of course, it got ways to destroy them too, but that's only because they don't listen. Like I was reading the paper the other day that a psychic in Florida had predicted Guatemala was going to, everything that happened that was going to happen. Of course, the people didn't listen, and no doubt, all of the catastrophes that happen on this planet, they are warnings sent. It's just a matter of whether people listen, and they can always avoid anything that's bad. Uh, of course they can, because they're always avoiding something that's good for them. So if they do one, they can do the other. Well, they say this planet is getting crowded. It looked like a lot of territory here to me, but then they said that it's getting crowded. Uh, the way people hate each other, they must be too close together. It must be getting crowded. So the best thing is to just move on out in outer space and give each nation a planet of its own. Furthermore, my idea is to give everyone some parts of the universe so everybody has some land. Everybody would have some collateral, and everybody would share in the universe. After all, the universe is so big. I mean, the creation is so immense, it's endless. So why not? If every person had a share in the universe, it would give them they would feel that they had something. They also would see that they got some kind of inheritance. Everyone would be wealthy, you might say. That's the best way. Everything out in outer space is of value, immeasurable value. So if each person owns something out there, even a little satellite, they would have something of value. They'd have something that no one else had. That seemed far-fetched, but like I said, if everyone had some collateral, everyone would have credit. If they wanted to, everyone would be not rich, but wealthy. Uh, Other things have been tried on the earth plane. It didn't work because some segments of different nations didn't like it. So as long as you got one set of men like one thing, another set of men don't like, then you got this confusion. But if I don't, well, I know no man would really oppose being wealthy or having a share in the universe. So the first time, I mean, to think of that would see that everyone would they'd want that, even though it might seem an impossibility. So what? A drowning man can't be worrying about a straw not going to save him. He might reach for it. And that's the way this planet is now. The people are facing a situation where they're going to be compelled to reach out for that which will cause them to survive. It isn't anything they can do about it. The conditions will get worse and worse and worse all over the planet. So bad that the leader's going to want somebody to lead them. Instead of, they can't look to the people to lead them, so the leader's going to have a leader of leaders. You might say a king of kings and lord of lords, the way they've been singing about it. But now, so that's the reason I'm saying that outer space, it's better for a person to go to outer space than to go to inner space. And they got to go somewhere. This planet is just like a railroad station. Everybody always going somewhere. They don't stay here. They come here and then they leave. Well, I mean, it's better to leave here alive than to leave here dead. If they go out of space, they will leave here alive. But if they stay here, they most certainly would have to die and go somewhere where they don't even know where it's at, over into invisibility. But the logical thing then is get in some spaceships and take off, go somewhere. Travel broadens one's mind anyway, they say. So I would say that most people who travel all over this planet and their minds haven't got broadened yet, so it must mean travel broaden one's mind if you're traveling out of space. Because you see so much out there, so much endlessness, until you have to have a broad mind. The concepts, the impressions that would be in a person's mind, terrific to even to think about. You look out there at close quarters to the endlessness of everything, would change any man, put a little fear into him too. It's exactly what men need at this point. They've gotten they're so proud, and they think they know everything. Well, they need to find out that they don't know anything. They come to a point where they can say, the only thing I know is that I don't know. And that's when man will have wisdom, because man is so small in the universe. So then I say, I take the music to try to give the impression of what I have felt. And what I felt always has been about space. I never have felt that this was the ultimate, Earth itself. It's a nice planet, but the people are not doing very well here. As I read the newspapers, I can see problems for people, problems for leaders, and that's bad. People have to have somebody in authority, whether good or bad. It's getting to a place where nobody who will want to be leaders for people, if the people got so much trouble that it's going to capsize the boat of a leader, the leader's going to desert them. This is imminent for this planet. Leaders will be out, have their own country somewhere. Rulers too. They'll desert the people. I heard that in England they had it already fixed up where they got their ships to take off in case the people starting and stuff with the Queen or the ruler. They take off and leave. I read that about 10 years ago. The ship they take off. And of course, you may be sure that the governments who've been out in outer space are prepared to leave here if the people get too assassinated in mind. If they just want, if they get on one of those things, they really got the people now because they can leave them. Space travel is definitely a thing right now. It's not about tomorrow. It's happening now. Communication with other beings too, happening right now. Uh, so really, it would behoove people to get themselves together quick so they can face realities. I mean, realities that they don't know anything about. Uh, the best way is to have imagination and to have some faith. Um, by having some faith, they can open some doors. Because when you don't have faith, it's uh, it's very bad. And I'm not speaking from a religious point of view. I'm just speaking from my heart. That if they have faith, they'll make it.